Hey guys, sorry for the late start. But I had you know, I've gotten a lot of flack over the last year over my approach to things. But I can guarantee you that no other single organization, single mother is getting calls from people who watch her posts and what I do, having people contact them from within the Virginia Department of Education wanting to talk to me, not giving me bureaucratic bullshit, but truth behind what went down today or over the last 24 hours. Okay. So I say that because there have been many big groups in this state that found that my approach was not polite enough because I don't politic. And now you can see why I don't politic. Because there are two factions at work in our Republican government. These are quotes from today, from quotes from the conversation, from the people that contact me within the Virginia Department of Education who actually care about our kids, is that there are two factions going on right now. There are the people that want him to run for president. Figure out who they are. It's easy to tell by the Facebook posts. If you are a Republican, a conservative, and you actually want to change, or you call yourself a patriot, or you call yourself a Republican, and you don't find a set to speak out and stop being politically correct, because y'all, I'm telling you what, to hear from within the Virginia Department of Education, there's two factions at work. There's one that wants him to become president. There's another one that wants him to do right. I can tell you this much, for those of you that questioned me, telling me that the transgender model policy, knowing what I know, it had to wait until some deadline in 2024, James Lane. No. Word is, you remember Elizabeth Schultz, and I asked her and Tim Anderson at the Virginia Education Summit why they had not revisited the model policy? And she chimed in, it's coming. Guess how long it's been sitting on the governor's desk? 2 months. 2 months. The revised transgender model policy has been sitting on Glen Youngkin's desk. I spoke with the person who knew the person that walked it over 2 months ago. It's been sitting there on his desk. When do the kids go back to public schools? A month? I'm so angry, y'all. And you have to understand where my anger comes from. My anger comes from, I'm going to show you where my anger comes from. My anger comes from the fact that that man looked bold-faced at my child. Okay, that's me. We're going to go, let's go forward. Oh, okay. Let's go forward, okay? So, Keystone Acres. He wasn't talking about, and my sound's not working, or I would play the video for y'all. And this thing is getting on my nerves right here. So now we're going to go backwards. So we got inauguration. So proud sign in my yard. I got one of the honorable, all three of them signs. There I am at the Women for Youngkin Christmas party. Invitation only. There I am with my shirt I made. We did it. On the back, you know what it said? Spirit in the sky. So when I tell you it hurts, oh, there I am in Hanover and Ashland with my Hanover crew that was like, and he's a globalist. And he's a globalist. I said, no man will run on the back of a rape victim. A man of God will run with a Parents for Youngkin and not live up to his. I believed no person capable of. So, okay, yep, there I am there. So don't even think that I'm some Youngkin hater, because I can care. That's me taking that picture in the Chesterfield Airport hangar that I helped set up. Yes, that's me putting up. I traveled this state with my 4-year-old, 7 rural districts to get them involved. You know whose numbers came in last? The 7 rural districts. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking to y'all because I want, oh, she did this. No, I'm telling you that when I speak about what this man promised, I know. That's me. That is in Clarksville, Virginia, Mecklenburg County. That's my 4-year-old. That's my child. That's my daughter that knows him as Mr. Glenn and asked me to play Mr. Glenn's song. This picture, if you were at the Zach Brown band, has been all over Glen Youngkin's promotional material. That's my child. Parents Matter, Virginia Constitution. Y'all know I used deplorable before I moved to this name, was the name that I was under. Okay. That's me signing his bus. That's me in Clarksville. That's me outside with 3 parents after I tried to rally the state outside of the Obama McAuliffe rally at VCU. That's me outside too. That's me with my DOJ kiss my ass sign out front of the Obama McAuliffe rally. Can you imagine how pretty that was? That's me in Burke, Virginia, where he made the fist down, Loudoun County, I'm going to take care of it. This is an abomination. You can go to Deplorable and find all the live feed. I've probably shared it on my own personal page, okay? Our kids can't wait. Our kids, and he's got, look at exploiting children. Yes, remember this ad? Virginians are saying no. That was at Keystone Acres. Yeah, remember how many times he said this? Parents matter. Parents matter. That's my child again, downtown Richmond with him. That's me filming him. That's, you know who we should elect? Matt Strickland. Matt Strickland is a true patriot. Youngkin was not talking about the mask. So I called Matt because I knew what he had done at Gore Melt's going against the mask mandate. And that man cut me a check and he said, girl, go at it. Stop the mandates. Okay. So I just want to be really clear that when I speak, it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I told him, Glenn, don't make my friends who warned me that you're a globalist. I didn't even know what a globalist was. Okay. He ran saying that he was going to ban CRT day one, knowing, because we were too dumb to know you can't ban something that's not being taught because it's a curriculum. Okay. Guys. So as I repeat, they cited that the VDOE meeting was canceled because of unforeseeable circumstances, illness in family, children, which is the biggest bunch of bull, because I was at that meeting 4 months ago when it was Balo and Gecker, and that's it, because the rest of them had not taken their oath of office. 2 people, they can still hold a meeting. The last one, 2 of them were remote. It was Gecker, Tim Kaine's wife, and Balo. So that was the internal email that went out to the Virginia Department of Education, that there were unforeseeable circumstances. Let me tell you what's going down, or what should have gone down today in their meeting, and then tomorrow in public comment, is the discussion of the standards of learning for history and civics. was supposed to be discussed today. Let me remind you that the sexually explicit guidances are due July 31st. They're putting this meeting off until August. Okay? The only option for us to speak publicly and to know that they actually heard us and not in a town hall that I remind you was not supposed to happen per Dunnacant. This is not an accident, guys. This is 100% not an accident. They're not going to extend the time of November when the standards of learning of civics and education are. And do you know what I got confirmation of? Is that we go have public comment in front of the Department of Education. I'm sorry, the Board of Education. They don't make the decisions. So every time that Daniel Gecker has told us, well, you know, we appreciate you making comments, but we're not really the people you're supposed to be talking to. So my question is this: when do we get to go make comments to the Department of Education? Let's clarify this. Something that I don't think anybody in Virginia has ever been clarified on is that the Board of Education has one role. Okay. So we don't co-parent with the Virginia Board of Education and the Department of Education. Okay. So the Department of Education is also not extending the 31st guideline. But I remind you also that town hall ends August 3rd, but the guidances are due the 31st. Okay. But please go to the town hall, comment that. Guys, this is not a win. So I know you're thinking, why is she arguing with the sexually explicit? It's only going to help our kids. No legislation written by Donovan has ever helped our children. And if you've read that, it literally mentions this is not meant to censor books. Okay. I don't really know many parents because we're not really pushing the strong sexual glisten driven sex-based education. So it says sexually explicit curriculum and it excludes the books. Okay. It doesn't say that we get a say in our children's social and emotional curriculum. So passing something, this is why I'm pushing back. Go to the town hall, tell them Section 8 VIII of the Code of Virginia already gives the Department of Education the responsibility of all curriculum and textbook approval. This legislation, if our elected officials could actually read the Code of Virginia like I have, they would not be writing legislation that becomes law that is in contradiction with law that has been standing since 1974. We make them accountable for the law that's already standing because you add one on top of the other. This is exactly what happened with her and her schools must stay open, but let's make the Democrats happy and add that CDC guidance in there that got us screwed. Stop writing legislation, and then when the Senate Education Committee destroys it, accept it because, yay, my legislation got approved. No. Say, no thanks, we pass. Do it again. Because you're screwing our children. And not to mention, that's not why any of us elected you. Write it and write it correctly. Period. If you can't do it, call me, I'll help you. But from this day forward, anybody running for any official, I'm not saying that you have to go hard after him, but if you are playing the political game of, you know what, I have to run in this because, you know what, it's the only way to get elected. No, I'm sorry. Those days are over. Those days are over. And as long as we perpetuate the cycle that we're going to run as a Republican because we have to, we will be continued in this two-party system. But know this, anything that's flagged as bipartisan should send flags to you of uniparty, because there is no two parties in this nation. There's not even, it's the uniparty. And you know who's running the uniparty? Why do you think nothing has been done for these children? Nothing. The man who got elected on education, do you know what he has done? Let me tell you. And I have to leave right now because I can't get into this. But I'm going to tell you this. I owe you the truth on who he has brought into the Department of Education. Who he has brought into the Department of Education is Bill Clinton's, I can't even believe this man. Bill Clinton's, the man who created the terms in 1998, 21st century learning, the man who created early childhood education and the word Head Start, and the man who started the drive for datafied learning, Andrew Rotherham. Okay, that's who he's brought in. So let's also not mention that you've got Amy Gadara, Data Quality Campaign. Okay, that should have been your first signal. Okay, then you've got, you see Bush. If you didn't know, yep, I can't even think of their names. Henry or whatever the hell is it. But the one that he has a Clinton administrator. He has a No Child Left Behind Secretary of Education, who has a nonprofit called Building for Hope. I don't have it in front of me. Partners with Teach for America. Teach for America is a group that wants apprenticeship teachers. Okay. How does that tie in? Is that Andy Rotherham, I have the Podesto emails, is the one that started Clinton's conversation with Teach for America. Look them up, TFA. You can do the research yourself. And Miguel Cardona just called in 250,000 tutors. Okay. You want to talk about the dumbing down? It's like what McClellan did with this legislation. You know what? There's a mental health crisis. So let's lower the bar and let anybody come to our schools to become a mental health professional, because that's really going to help the children. No. This is 100%. Okay. So I don't know. Castle, SEL. Go to vafcf.org. Tell people to sign the JOT form that they've gotten thousands of over the last couple months that goes explicitly into why they've ghosted me on SEL. And then this nice little pretty, sorry, it's not back. This is the new one by Castle, Educating Future Ready Children, Future Ready Students, okay? Educating Future Ready Students. It is not a child's job to secure the future of workforce development. I'll just leave it there. Okay? So that's where the World Economic Forum comes in, that Glenn Youngkin, with anybody that has flown into Davos, Switzerland, I ignored it way too long. If you don't know the history of the World Economic Forum, look it up, y'all. He was there in 2020. You can find it. So we can talk about 2018, the manual that they put out, the future of jobs. We can talk about the 2017 social emotional learning. I mean, it is, but this is the new Educating Future Ready Students. The Alan Siebert, the Salem, Virginia. People think that, little old counties, what can they do? That man has globally, there was I believe, Swedish who got his Fulbright scholar in Salem, Virginia with Alan Siebert. And he is globally known for creating cogs, and our children are nothing but pieces of a machine. Okay. So what I'm going to tell you is this. is that if we don't wake up to what we have in front of us, because he's going to try to run for president. And I'm not the Republican chairman of the state of Virginia. Anybody who's proud of anything that Youngkin has done and is the Republican chair for the entire state, there's a problem there. And if you are running for office and you think that getting his endorsement is a good thing, I'm going to encourage you to reject it. So the Republican chair says he ran on a promise. Virginia families came together and told the country that parents matter. Well, actually, Glenn Youngkin was the one that told Virginia that parents matter. Let's clarify that. And he was just on, okay. So here, everyone can get behind and which builds America's future. Okay. America's future to Glen Youngkin is global citizenship. Okay. And this is what Trump got beat down by trying to expose what globalism was. He got gaslit about it. Okay. When we say it's not, we are anti-globalist. Okay. But that doesn't mean I don't care about the globe. I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care about the world. It doesn't mean that I want my nation, my country to be driven in a cog involved with all the other bureaucracy of the nation. Okay. I would like for us to have a little bit, just a tiny bit of us. He was recently on Face the Nation. And I wish my sound was working, but unfortunately it's not. Because it is apparent when somebody stares at you in the face and shows you who they are. And this is what I've been asking parents all around. When somebody who ran on the back of a transgender rape victim, why hasn't that been mentioned? And why, I will repeat, has that piece that could protect our children in a month entering school been sitting on his desk for 2 months? You're not going to find that anywhere because you know what? Me and my big loud mouth, I have people contacting me, multiple people from inside the Virginia Department of Education this morning who want to talk to me, who are very concerned about the same things that I'm concerned about. So, later on, after I drive to Fredericksburg, if anybody's in that area and wants to meet up and chat, I've got to drive up there, drop my child off, drive back here, pick my other child up at camp, and then come back here and give you the full story. But I have been, this is what my life looks like because I've been trying to investigate or dig and figure out, is there a possible way I could be wrong about this? 100% no. So tonight, I promise you, with full slides, and Bobby, I need you to come over, and my co-founder of Virginia True Children's First, I need you to come over and figure out what's wrong with my sound, because when I play videos and slides, it's not working. But guys, we are making moves to do big things here at Virginia for Children's First. I have never, as long as I've been doing this, asked for money. Never. James Lindsay is speaking the 29th and the 30th. And for a ginormous sponsorship fee after he does his whole thing, because the world believes in James Lindsay and what he has to say. Please, the link is below. Donate. And I hate asking for money. So that I can get on stage and have 5 whole minutes to tell Virginia why everything that you believe in. Everybody thinks James Lindsay is the man, and he's an amazing person. But you can't believe in James Lindsay and not see what's going on in Virginia. And I would really like the chance to maybe wake Virginia up. I hate asking for money. We've done this all on our own. And this little tiny nonprofit has probably made a lot of impact with doing things that are not politically correct, because at this point in time, being politically correct means you don't speak out against the things that are wrong against our children. And that's just the way it is. And that's not to call anybody out. I'm just saying that I was challenged a long time ago, as in less than a year ago, because that's the short amount of time I've been doing this. But guys, I want you to keep in mind, and here's some things that you can start looking into. Andrew Rotherham, okay? You can look up Bellwether Education, one of his many nonprofits. Dig into that. That's fun. Or Education Sector. That's another one. How about New Schools Venture? That's a big one. That's a good place to get started. Alan Siebert out of Salem. That's a good place to get started too. But, you know, Creasy, who's the private school chick that he brought in. But guys, most of all, point of this was I promised it would come. But I was on the phone all morning with a couple different people from inside the Virginia Department of Education, not the Board of Education. So the question is this, is if we can comment in front of the Board of Education, but they don't make any of the decisions that we go and talk to them about, when do we get to go make public comment in front of the Department of Education? That's another thing that we need to work on, but I gotta go. Guys, I'll see y'all later. But guys, please, I feel like Morpheus right now. Like, you can take your blue pill and go back into your la la land, or you can have your red pill and see the world for what it is. Because guys, the matrix is all around. Like, it's baffling. I get it. Like, cognitive dissonance, it is. Guys, waking up sucks. And trust me, I woke up real quick years ago dealing with child sex trafficking, child protective services, and thought I was going to get killed there for a minute. It literally causes psychosis. And when you think that you elect a man and then have to face the fact that he's not going to do anything that you promised, and that maybe McAuliffe could have been a better choice, because I call it whack-a-mole. I can't play whack-a-mole with Glenn Youngkin, because you don't know what he's going to throw at you, or what his motives are, or any of that stuff. That's the problem with these people that are the 1% of the 1% that have jets and fly into Davos, Switzerland, is that they don't care about any of us. It doesn't matter what color skin you have. It doesn't matter what's between your legs. The Hegelian dialect of, hey, we're going to create the economic crisis, and then we're going to present the solution. And in the meantime, we're going to pit the two against each other so that nobody can see what's going on. It's really not that complicated if you can wrap your mind around let go of the fear and accept the fact that if you know me, if you've seen what I do, I know what I'm talking about. It's not a me thing, guys. I cannot be the only person. I cannot be the only person. We, Virginians for Children's First, cannot be the only people that are going to call it out for what it is, or it's never going to end. And like Ronald Reagan said, this is the last stand. There's no Nina Pinta Santa Maria that we can get on to go find another land. It's just not going to happen. So it's either we're literally on a precipice of surrendering our nation, or we nut up and fight. Because we've known the two-party system doesn't work. And like, guys, rhino, it's not just a cute term for someone who's not really Republican in name only. In name only. If they don't align with Republican and conservative values, and they're in name only, then what are they? We can't just start slinging words around and not understand what they mean. If they're in name only, oh, Marie, he's a rhino. Yeah, he is. Then what is he? What are his motives? And anybody who's a leader who doesn't recognize that, or who has information and doesn't make it public, or public to the people that can make it public, I'm done. I'm not going to align with people who are going to continue to destroy our children. Period. Period. Why do you think the whole Youngkin Trump showdown happened? Guys, Youngkin's not going to save us. And if he becomes president, adios, USA. Sorry. Truth.